this nigga was on top of the music world. Now he might lose it. They say he's gonna face like up to years in prison and shit. Mm. That nigga was walking that Old Town Road, man. I tell you. Mm. This might be a controversial review.
What's good? Oh,
I said this album. I got a lot to say about this album.
oh. A lot of people is mixed reviews. I don't understand why though.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
I'm a Ghost fan. That's all I'm going to
Another
say.
another classic Reg's trash review.
It's not a trash review. It's not. Nope.
It don't sound like it's gonna be a classic review either for me.
I all I want to say. I feel like they should have not named this one Supreme Clientele 2.
I heard people say that already to me. I'm like, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. If it's in the same vein as the original, then why not?
But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves right now. We're getting a bit pretentious right now. We're getting a bit pretentious right now.
Yo,
Oh, but this was better than the last album he came out with last year. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna say that right now. But I've been feeling good. Sean? What's up, Sean? What's up, nigga? Hmm. I'm gonna go to ATL this Friday. I cannot wait, boy. Whew. I need a breather. What else is going on in the news, man? What else is going on? I gotta see that new Denzel Washington movie. I heard good things about it so far.
that's coming on streaming beginning of September. It's not staying long in the theater.
Yeah, I know. Part of me wants to see if it's on Fire Stick, low key.
I'm watching it on streaming. I ain't even going to see that joint.
Spike Lee and Denzel. I heard good things about it though.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of nobody. I've been at ATL by myself plenty of times, Sean. I feel like people just overhype that shit. As long as I just mind my own business and pee where I pee at, I'll be straight.
Mind your fucking business.
You said what?
Mind your fucking business. Don't talk to nobody out there.
Exactly. Ain't nobody
Okay.
scared. I ain't scared of nobody. Shit.
Yo, niggas travel by themselves. I've been to Virginia more than once by myself on the Greyhound. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I travel all the time by myself.
Been to Florida by myself. Like, what you mean?
Exactly. And besides, I do it for my mental health.
This is what we do.
I do it. That's why
There's women. I know women that take trips by themselves. No man with them. You know.
speaking of women, I gotta text you about some shit.
Oh Lord, more women drama. And you talk about me. You talk about the women drama that I've had.
No, it's actually not woman drama. It's actually
Oh,
just updating you about that one shit.
what you talking about? I don't know.
Oh, I don't think I told you. Okay, damn. Okay. All right, I'll update you. I don't want to talk about it on the live though, but I'm gonna text you a little later. But
You might as well. Out of all the other stuff you talk about on here.
no, but lately I've been trying to lately some shit I don't like to like talk live and shit like that because
Oh,
probably,
sure.
some,
I try
some
to tell
shit
you
I
that.
don't mind.
I try to
Some
tell
shit,
you that before you YouTube bans you and shit. Don't say
some shit
nothing.
some shit I don't mind talking about, but this shit right here is kind of personal.
Oh, look. Your friend is here. The one that thinks I went Hollywood.
Oh shit, what's up, BJ?
Wow, you actually showed up for once. We didn't have to give you a formal invite like you fucking Prince Charles and shit.
Chill, chill.
I went Hollywood, so I'm on my Hollywood shit.
Oh shit! I did not mean to
Yeah,
say that.
niggas think I went Hollywood. I'm Hollywood now. Because they see me actually promoting what I got, what I'm doing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Listen,
I'm
oh,
about to change my name to Hollywood Tribe, and people gonna really hate my guts,
shit.
right,
Oh shit.
BJ? I'm too Hollywood for the hood.
I want to give a shout out to all the supporters though. Okay.
The ones that don't feel like they need a formal invite to come on here. Like Eric and Mike and Sean and Christian. We ain't got to lay out the red carpet for niggas and shit.
Speaking of Christian, where the hell has he been at?
I seen him post something a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm. Oh yeah, Marlon Wayans is also coming out with a new movie with Jordan Peele. That shit gonna be crazy. He just said, "Keep doing your thing." I always do my thing. Appreciate it. I'm gonna turn my camera on, and I'm about to start this shit right now. Lord have mercy. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Let's go.
What's up, you two? How's everyone doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my boy Try in the building with me. How you doing, Try?
It's Hollywood Tribe to you. That's my new name. And people think I've gone Hollywood.
I'm not calling you that shit. Look. I'm gonna call you Try. I ain't call you no Hollywood Try. You calling that shit. But so give me one quick second. I was actually gonna do an album anniversary today. And the album anniversary I'm gonna talk about is actually Exhibit with his second album, 40 Days and 40 Nights. This album came August 25th, 1998, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I do have the vinyl, but I'm too lazy to actually search through my boxes for it and stuff like that too. Even though I know what's at, it's just been a long day, and y'all should know what the album looks like. But fuck it, you know me. So this is actually the second album from Exhibit, and honestly, this is actually my favorite album he's ever came out with. I know a lot of people want to say Restless, which Restless is cool, but it's to me Exhibit was at his best with his first two albums, in my opinion. At the Speed of Life and 40 Days and 40 Nights. I don't know why. I just felt like those first two albums definitely had Exhibit at his most rawest sound and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? But with this album, he still was putting on the Liquid Crew and everything. This album, you can definitely tell he had more of a bigger budget compared to the first album at the Speed of Life. Still some of the same producers, still some of the same producers and stuff like that too. Like you have cats like E Swift coming in, Sir Jinx and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yada yada.
right.
But some of the songs here, man, like what you see is what you get. Probably, in my opinion, next to Paparazzi, his signature song, Pussy Pop, Three Card Marley. You know what I'm saying? Los Angeles Times, which is also on the Soul and the Whole soundtrack and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Very very dope album. I'll even go as far as saying this is like a West Coast classic in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because at this time when it came out in '98, like the West Coast hip hop was kind of going through like a commercial decline, especially with Death Row Records and Death Row Records, going the downfall they went through, and then you had other West Coast acts kind of like going more into acting, like like Cube, um,
Hmm.
Ice T. Don't get me wrong, you still had some cats in the West Coast that was still putting it down. Like of course Snoop, um, Also at that time, Too Short was quote unquote retired at that time. And then
Right.
you had E40 and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But Exhibit was one of those cats that was really like still putting it down. But at the same time, he dropped this album. He was still kind of considered underground. Like this, I mean, he was. Let me not say he was getting more into the mainstream. Like this album was what to him, what in my lifetime, Volume One was what to Jay Z. If that makes sense, because with Volume One, he wasn't really a household name just yet, but getting into the mainstream popularity wasn't until we got Hard Knock Live 1 year later. That's when he became the household name. TMI, what's good? You just subscribed. Salute, salute. But like when Exhibit dropped Restless and stuff like that, especially with the Dr. Dre co-sign, that's when he really became the Exhibit we all know and love today and stuff like that. But ironically, what you see is what you get is actually his biggest single too, believe it or not, too. So yeah, man, I fucking love this album and everything. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on this album?
Great. West Coast boom bap, and we did a review on this album, and what you see is what you get. I remember that video, like a lot of different things going on in that video, and Rap City played that all the time, and we called Molly, you know, uh, Pussy Pop, you know, um, Los Angeles Times was my drink too. That was from the Soul in the Hole soundtrack. And I
Yep.
always loved that song. And remember I had the sample for that soundtrack, and that was one of the songs on the sampler. And it was great. It was a great album. To me, his first four are like his best in his discography. You know, At the Speed of Light and 40 Days, 40 Nights. I love Restless 2000 and Man vs. Machine. And he's still a dope MC. He still got it lyrically, and his recent album Kingmaker is out. And yeah, he's definitely a legend.
Yeah, he definitely is definitely one of the hip hop legends and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still got it. It's just that I don't know. I think the production in the later albums, I just was not really too keen on, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. That's neither here or there. We're gonna also get into like the Billboard charts. You know what I'm saying? In case y'all don't know, sometimes I like to look at Billboard charts from back in the day. Since this is a sequel to one of hip hop's best albums, I decided to go back to the year 2000 and shit. You know what I'm saying? So this is the hot rap singles from the year from August 26, 2000. I'm just gonna do the top 20. Number 20, we got Joe Vicious, Get Buck. I've never heard that song before. Number 19 is debut placement on the charts. We got Camara with Monet. Number 18, we got De La Soul featuring Redman with Ooh. That was a very weird song. It was
Yeah,
okay. It was like a weird song. Number 17, we got Sean Paul and Mr. Vegas with Hot Gal Today. Half Get the Gal Ya. Um, Number 16, we got Nelly with Country Grammar. I'm going down, down, baby. You'll see the lady.
so bad.
You said what?
So
You said dope?
not country grammar.
Number 15, we got Common with Delight. Love that record. That came from the Like Water for Chocolate album. Very dope album. Number 14, we got Havana with How Much You Want Me. Number 13, we got Shine featuring Barrington Levy, Bad Boys, and everything. Love that record. Number 12, we got X Con with Whoa Lil Mama. Number 11, we got Murder One, Nitty, Lil Gangster, Short, Haran, and VS with Ball Ball. I don't even know half these songs. Number 10, we got Divine Stevens, The Entertainer with Unha. Number 9, we got Mystical with Shake Your Ass. Thought I told y'all niggas before, y'all niggas don't fuck with me. Let me stop. Number 8, we got Big L with Flamboyant. Big L, rest in peace. Number 7, we got Too Short with Two Bitches. I want to say that's from the You Nasty album, which is a very underrated album. Number 6, we got Cuban Links with Flowers for the Dead. I want to say that was a Big Pun tribute, if I'm not mistaken. Number five, Ghostface Killer with Shesha La Ghost from Supreme Clientele, classic record in my opinion. Number four, we got Lil Jon and East Side Boys. I Like Them Girls. Number three, we got Major Figures with Yeah That's Us. Number two, we got Lil Zane featuring 112, Calling Me. And number one, we got Lil Bow Wow featuring Escape with their second weekend number one with Bounce With Me. Oh,
Yep.
what a slow. Mm. All right. So, you guys already know what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Ghostface with his recent album, Supreme Clientele 2. You know what I'm saying? This album came out this past Friday. You know what I'm saying? On Master Pure Records. This came out with two singles, which was Rap Kingpin and Metaphysics. This was known for producers like Fourth Disciple, Backpack Beats, Shed a Bang, Danny Kayazo, Duff, Easy LP, Ghostface himself, Lenny Green, Jay Black, Metaphysics, Mr. Commodore, Redman, Rose Art, Ray Ray, Scavo 3, Scram Jones, Sean C, and LV. So, no producers from the first Supreme
No
Clientele.
RZA.
Well, I wasn't even expecting RZA. At this point, I don't even respect
But
RZA.
I mean, I look back at his discography. RZA hasn't done shit since 2004. That's 20. That's 21 years ago. So
I
why
think
would people? Huh?
I could have sworn he's done shit even after '04.
No. As far as his albums, he hasn't done shit with him since what, the Pretty Tony album?
Wow.
He did Run. That was the first single, and then he did I think Kunta type shit. That was it. He hasn't worked with, like, he did something on the Wu Block album, but that wasn't a Ghostface album.
Honestly, I didn't care for that Wu Dog album like that. It was
I liked it. It just it needed more features with the Locks member. It was more Chic and Ghostface, and Jada was like maybe two tracks, but it wasn't enough like Locks and Wu Tang members on it. But they got another album coming. He said so.
we'll see. All right. Guest appearances include Redman, MOP, Styles P, Conway, Ty Boogie, Aisha Hall, Raekwon, Jizza, Meth, Reek the Villain Pills, Nas, Driz, Nems,
Your
Ice.
aunt, your daddy,
What?
your mama, your aunt, your daddy. They all featured on here.
Ice, Supreme, Intelligent, Sun God, Pills, Reek the Villain, and that's it. All right. So at this point, you guys should know who Ghostface Killer is. One of the best members from the one of the best MCs of all time. One of the best members from the Wu Tang and everything. He definitely has been putting in a lot of work over the years, solo wise, group albums, guest appearances. You know, his impact in the hip hop game and stuff like that should definitely be studied and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? But see, at the same time, you know what I'm saying? When it came to this album, he pretty much announced that he was doing this album, Supreme Clientele 2, as early as 2013. Because again, this was around the time where everybody and their mamas was doing a sequel album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And he did say I think he pushed a lot of that shit back because he was working on a lot of projects. He was working on a lot of projects and stuff like that. Like at that time, he also was working on a collab album with the late great MF Doom. You know what I'm saying? And at that time too, he was also doing collabs with fucking what's that group called? Bad Not Good. They did the 36 C no the Sour Soul album and everything like that too. Which I feel like that's a very underrated album
Yeah,
when
that
it
was
comes
dope. That was dope.
to space and everything like that too. Because I don't know, the 20 teens, I don't know, Ghost was just on a run. all right, like from that 12 Reasons to Die sequel,
Yeah,
and then he had the Ghost Dini album and
yeah,
everything like that too. I don't know. Ghost was I felt like he's always been consistent, but that era, the 20 teens, when he was dropping all that shit, he was just on fire, man.
yeah.
I think you can starting off with like that Fish Scale album, like the late 2000s to the 20 teens, though. But yeah, man. But he kept pushing this album back. Sample. I think this album went through like a lot of sample clearances, and it's funny too because back in 2021, he announced that Kanye and Mike Dean was supposed to executive produce the album, which thank God
Mhm.
that did not fucking happen. Thank fucking God.
Well, you know what? You know what? I think if we had gotten Kanye from the year that he was coming out with the Pusha album Daytona and Young Taylor Project and his Kids See Ghosts. I think if we had gotten it back then, it would have been great to hear some Kanye beats on this album. But I don't like the stuff that Kanye's dropping now.
Honestly, I don't even want to hear that kind of Kanye on a Ghost. I feel like Ghosts. I feel like Ghost and the whole Wu Tang and Kanye. I just feel like their styles don't really mash up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that shit is good for Pusha. It might be good for like Kid Cudi, but I don't want to
Yeah.
hear because you saw what happened with that Nasir album from Nas. I
Mhm.
don't want to hear that shit
No,
on a.
not a whole album, but a couple beats. I think Kanye, when he was in his bag, I think Ghost would have sounded good over like the early Kanye stuff. Like from college dropout and late registration, graduation, like that era of Kanye. I think Ghost would have sounded great. Like I would love to hear Ghost on 3 words. I think he would kill that track. You know,
I see
not
what
the
you're saying.
Kanye nine, not the Kanye now that's in the Donda Bully, whatever the fuck he's dropping. That this Kanye is not the same as Kanye from like 15, 20 years ago.
No, yeah, man. But yeah, man, and so he ended up dropping the set the tone. Well, he dropped a few projects up to this one, just to get it over with, like the Ghostface Killers album from 2019, which I felt like that album was very dope,
Mhm.
underrated.
Right.
Um, that had um, that one song he did with called Conditioning, that was pretty good and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then he had dropped that Lost Tapes with Big Ghost LTD. I love that one.
No,
Then
you said that's not an official release though.
Lost Tapes. Yeah, I know. But
He he told Bootleg Kev that that's not enough. Like he didn't have nothing to do with that release.
I know, I know that, but I was just saying I like some of the songs there and shit like that. Like he had that one song with Kane that I
Right.
fucked with and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then the Cesar Face meets Ghostface album from 2019. That was pretty dope. That was very dope too. And then, of course, like I mentioned, 2024 was Set the Tone, which I
You
did
didn't care
not.
for it?
Nah, it was kind of. I don't know the production on that one. I didn't care for with that one. I feel like to be real with you, that might be my least favorite Ghostface album to this day.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people actually like that album though, believe it or not.
And there
But
was a Nas feature on that album. I didn't hear nobody say it was a weak verse from Nas.
well, Nas always delivers. I'm not really worried about the features. It was just, I guess, the
But
overall tone.
I'm hearing people saying that they didn't like the Nas feature on here though. That they thought his verse was weak.
Don Don, what's happening? What's happening with you, boss? We'll talk about the Nas. We'll talk about the Nas feature and shit. I feel like you're more interested to talk about this album more than I am and shit. Like
But
you
because I think it's a good look. I'm not gonna listen. This is the last year I'm doing this. I said only certain albums we're gonna discuss. I feel like this is a big album. If it was whack, I wouldn't want to do it.
I'm just getting ready for Erica Badu's album this Friday. That's all
Right.
I'm getting ready for
Yeah, you
because
got that coming. You got somebody else to drop on Friday.
I don't care about anybody else. I just want to hear Erica. I'm gonna be real with you because I saw some posts. They said that she's been having these no phone, no social media concerts, and everyone's been blown away by the music and shit. So
That's what it's about.
I never heard no bad Erica Badu album to this
Me
day.
neither. Me neither.
So her and Alchemist,
Yeah,
definitely okay. But back to the point, I'm trying to. So yeah. So this album finally came out. Well, he dropped a single like the Rap Kingpin. Then he dropped Metaphysics and shit like that too. This album finally came out last Friday and shit like that too. This is part of the whole mass appeal campaign that Legend has it and stuff like that too. So far, Slick Rick came out with some shit which we talked about. I didn't care for that Slick Rick joint.
that was a better album visually, better
Yeah,
visual album.
I have to still watch the visual. Then we got Raekwon, which I feel like that might be one of the top five hip hop albums this year so far. You know what I'm saying? I'm still bumping that shit. Clip to me, Clip still got the best hip hop album this year. I'm gonna be real.
That's the best album to me right now.
Yeah,
Clips and Alfredo too.
yeah, man. Alfredo, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Actually, it was
And
actually better than I expected to be real with you.
the
So,
Two Chains and Larry June album. I love that album.
oh, that might
That
be a
was good.
number. Yes,
That was
yes.
good.
Okay.
That was great.
So yeah, man. So this album finally came out. This whole Looney Tunes artwork and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has another album cover.
He does.
Yeah, it's like like an illustrated drawing of like him with like two chicks.
Oh man, I wish
Now
I
you
knew.
seen when I made the story, I put it in the story.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the other album cover. Like that's the other one that's on vinyl. It's like two of them.
Yeah, cause this album cover, I'm not gonna hold you. Looney Tunes. I mean, I like Looney Tunes and shit like that, but
But you know what I like? I like this song because it fits the old school vibe of the album and
yeah,
I don't know, it just goes with the album.
I get what you're saying,
You know,
man.
like with
I
the
get.
first album, he had like the old school mic on the album cover. You know, he had like the light shade of blue.
Yeah,
It goes together to me.
definitely. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So this album got 22 tracks, a couple skits here and there. We're gonna get started with the first song called "Intro" by Redman, featuring Redman. This is just Redman hyping up the album, introducing Ghostface, talking about he's the guy that made all these dope albums like Fish Scale and Iron Man and Big Doe Rehab, which is a very underrated album, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Ghost Dini Iron Man. He just set it off and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I do like the intro from Redman and stuff like that. I've always said Redman was an honorary Wu member anyway, to be real with you. So,
Yeah. It was cool. I would have loved to hear Red on an actual song. Like, why you have both Red and Meth on the album? Why not have Red on the song? Like, Meth and Man is on two tracks on here. Why we couldn't get a verse from Redman for one of these songs? You know what I'm saying? Like, the intro wasn't nothing spectacular. He just talking about like naming the different albums that Ghost had, and I'm like, well, I would have wanted a Redman feature on any of these tracks.
right. Definitely. Yeah, man. I guess we'll have maybe in another future Wu album some shit. You never know. All right. Next song we got is Iron. I think Iron Man is the next song, feature produced by Cheddar Bang. Um, nice way to nice way to kick off the album and stuff like that. This is that vintage Ghostface. This is that vintage Ghostface I fucking love and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Fucking clever wordplay and everything, the style and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So pretty dope shit.
Yeah, it was short, beat was fire. You had a Ghost saying, I put so much weight on bodies, you could call me a clump. Referencing the clumps that Eddie Murphy classic room. It was dope. Like I like, a lot of short tracks on here, but it was fire. For the 2 minutes and change that it was for.
Definitely. Alrighty, alrighty. Next track we got is Sample 420 featuring MOP. This was produced by Duff. Um, this one was okay. I just felt like the beat was kind of too soft, especially if you have people like Ghost
Too
and
melodic.
MOP and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now I don't expect them. You said what?
it was too melodic for them.
You said what?
It was too melodic for them.
Yeah, definitely way too melodic for MOP
Yeah,
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not expecting them to go crazy like it was
why not?
1996 and shit like that. Because
Why
niggas
not?
grow up and everything like that too. But huh?
I said, why not? That's their formula. Like when you hear
That is
Anti Up, when you hear Anti Up, and you hear Cold as Ice, and how about some hardcore, people expect that type of energy from MOP. Even when they perform live, like I seen them live, they perform with that energy. So when you hear them on a Ghostface track, you thinking it's gonna be high energy. They didn't give that on this track.
yeah. But yeah, I just feel like that beat was way too melodic and stuff. Maybe need a few more drums here and there and shit. Uh, Track number four, Curtis May. This was produced by Easy LP and Backpack Beats. Um, Very, very, very dope record right here and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This I feel like definitely Conway definitely ate this track and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? This definitely could have been something that could have been also on this album as well too. Ghostface actually produced this joint right here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Very, very, very dope record. I like this one.
This was dope. Beat was fire. Styles was okay. Like you said, Conway to me had the best verse on here. He said, I'm not a star. I'm just a guy taking shit too far. Shootouts in the back of the car. I loved his verse, but he never disappoints. I've never heard like a bad Conway feature. Again, like the beat was melodic. It wasn't like with some of these features, the lineup was cool, but the beat don't match the energy for the artist. The MOP beat don't match their energy.
Right.
This one was a melodic joint. It don't really match his Styles P energy on here. But it was dope.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like so far this might be the best beat on the album so far. Track number five, Fourth Disciple. Um, just a beat Fourth Disciple, Ghost ripping it and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Again, vintage Ghostface. He had this one line I like where he says, "My nigga ain't like y'all niggas. Now y'all huddle around like a bunch of bitches. Jamal called his whiz, notify his moms. Nah, forget it. She already lost her two sons. Come on, Lord. I placed my head on his chest just to hear him breathe and so something under his breath. Definitely gives me that Iron Man, that vintage storyline and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, talking about his friend who got shot and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely a very fire joint.
Yeah, this was. I love the beat for this. Ghost saying, tomorrow we got a flight to catch LaGuardia. My wife made that fish you like, fried tilapia. And this was actually like a drink. He named it Fourth Disciple, and Fourth Disciple produced it. Again, it's a short track, but for this, he did some dope storytelling for the shortness of the track.
Definitely. All right. Next song we got is Windows. Um I didn't really care for this track too much, I'm gonna be real with you. It was just there, in my opinion.
It was cool. It was soulful. I like the horns on it. The sound of it fits the Supreme Clientele album. Like it could have been on the first album. Again, it was a short track, but I liked it.
Definitely. All right. Next track we got is called Georgie oh, excuse me, it's the Paw skit. Now this is probably a lot of people's favorite skit on this album
Yeah,
and everything like that too. And it's definitely a relatable skit because it's talking about how motherfuckers like to overuse the word pause
mm,
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which it's pretty much like the equivalent to saying like
No
you know
homo, shit like
yeah
that.
no yeah
Yeah,
so yeah, which I'm glad that kind of died down and shit. Like no niggas don't really say that shit no more because niggas are overusing that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
those are just talking about how this young generation is pretty much the same. How niggas over it's just how niggas overuse pause and they're not comfortable in their own sexuality and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny skit. I definitely fuck with this one.
There's a song that Jadakiss. It's either a song or freestyle that Jadakiss did years ago, and he said in his song, "A grown man shouldn't have to say no homo." And I totally agree with him. It's like I think it's like a New York thing where I see people when they say something, they'll say pause after it, or back then we would say no homo, or even with Diddy, they be like no Diddy. That's like another thing that I've seen people say. But I like the skit. Like this out of like all the skits makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? This is like a skit that I could see Ghost doing this. Some of the other skits, we'll talk about that. But I feel like this skit makes the most sense to be on the album.
I agree. All right. Then we're gonna get into the next song called Georgie Porgy. We all know the sample, this classic Toto sample, which has been used masterfully by MC Light and everything like that for Poor Georgie from the Act Like You Know album. But I'm gonna be real with you with this song right here. I Ghostface did his thing on this one, but the way how he uses sample and everything like that too. He just used the dun
The
dun
pro-
dun dun
dun,
dun
dun, 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 dun,
dun,
dun, dun.
which I
But
like
but
that
but
part.
at the end of the song, like that's when the bass line comes in for like the latter part of it.
Well, honestly, I just feel like that should have happened early in the song, in my opinion. I don't know, but lyrically, Ghost did his thing. This might be. I see some people's. I know there's like a wave of people that like this record, but then there's a wave of people that kind of felt like this record was kind of eh. Me, I like it, but I just felt that the beat was kind of eh. You know what I'm saying? Just gives me that vintage Ghost verse. Talking about stick up kids and everything like that too. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Out of all the songs, this song I can definitely say was probably one of the closest it captured the original Supreme Clientele, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have definitely seen something like that. You would have done maybe Supreme Clientele, hell, maybe even Bulletproof Wallace, maybe that
right. Oh
early
yeah.
2000s and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You
It
know?
definitely would put on it. I think
Yeah, I just it's just that.
I think for him to use the sample again, you would have to use it in a different way. Because I'm like MC Light made it so big with Poor Georgie, and I felt like even the title, like he had the same title as the Light track, and I think he had to come at it differently, but it's still a recognizable sample. So I didn't have no problem. Like and he's an R&B guy, like he said that, like he loves R&B first before anything else. So that's why like some of the samples on here were like R&B from R&B songs because he loves R&B. That's his thing, and you know what I mean. And I feel like he's like one of the probably the best when it comes to like rapping over R&B type of beats, and it was no different on here. The way that he used the sample to me was good, and he says, "Strong arm robberies, all done in harmony. Where's my weapon? Then bow, hit an artery." I loved his flow on it, and to me, like he's one of the best, if not the best, to like use like the early R&B samples, and then like the R&B samples he chose for this album. It ain't too many people that could rhyme over the Georgie Porgy beat or the Zoom beat. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's the best at that.
Right. Yeah, man. I definitely agree with you about that. Yeah, man. But I do give Ghost credit for actually taking more of the producing, taking more of the producing level and stuff like that too. Just to give him a
Right.
sound. I think he also did some production as far back as maybe like Bulletproof. Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah. Track number 9 is Force MD skit featuring Ty Boogie. Um, this is just a skit, dedicates like the early days of hip hop and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I do like the block party. tone of this track right here and shit. You know what I'm saying? So this one, I just feel like could have been a little bit better though.
I didn't like the skit. I feel like for this skit, why not have Ghost talk about when he first heard Force MDs, when he first heard like his favorite Force MDs album or favorite Force MDs record. You know what I'm saying? Or like, talk about, how they're like one of the most overlooked groups in hip hop. Even
Right,
though they did R&B, R&B was a thing, but they did rap also in their songs, and nobody mentions them. I would have liked to hear that instead of just we had a DJ on here just saying new Ghostface, and that was it. I mean, that's the whole skit. You know what I'm saying? And like this part of the album, like from this skit to like I would say maybe up to like the Zoom, nah, the let me see, like I would say up until Rap Kingpin is like it has an old school feel to it. So like from tracks 9 to 12, you get that '80s breakbeat old school vibe. And I just feel like if you're gonna have like a skit called Force and D's, it should actually be about the Force and D's. Like either have like the last member of Force and D's on there, or just talking about like your favorite memories of the group. And he didn't do that on this skit.
right. Yeah, especially since the Force MDs was on his like first album, Iron Man and shit.
Right,
Like,
right. They were on what's that track? Daytona 500. That was them.
yeah, Daytona 500. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, all the members that we lost to Force MDs and shit. Rest in peace.
I think there's one left. I want to say there's one member that's still alive.
Yeah, one of the OGs. Yeah,
Yeah, why not have him on the skit? You know,
shit. You never know. All right, track number 10, Break Beats. Um, I could have done without this song, honestly. I got what he was trying to do, but at the same
Mm.
time, it was just like I felt like a lot of the production on this album was mostly just break beats or just having a song called break beats and shit like that. It's just like nothing really special with the beat, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I thought it has a nice old school sound. There's a beat switch in the track. It's a short track, but it's like a beat switch. You know, on the song, and this is like for people that love '80s rap and that whole era. This part of the album, like from the Force MD skit to Rap Kingpin, is like has an '80s rap sound to it. And
Right.
Ghost is an OG, like he's from that era. So I always felt like he always paid homage to '80s rap, and we don't see a lot of that from even rappers now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that old school started with the '90s, and it didn't. So I love the fact that he paid homage to the '80s.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying with that. Alrighty. Next track we got is what's the next track we got? It's called Beatbox featuring Ty Boogie and Aisha Hall. Again, another song. I got what they were trying to do. I felt like they could have just combined break beats and beatbox into one song.
Right.
Maybe I would have definitely liked it more
Uh,
and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want anyone saying, "Oh, you just don't like beatbox. You just don't like the elements of hip hop." I'm a big fan of like cats like the Fat Boys, Dougie Fresh, and everything like that too. I just feel like they could have just easily combined both of these songs together and just made it one great song.
I think for the beatboxing, he should have had Dougie Fresh do it because he's like the best beatboxer still living. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Dougie would have been good for this track. Again, it has an '80s sound to it, old school. I love the beat, the DJ on it. He's doing his little ad libbing and his shout outs, and it gives it that outdoor flavor. And you have Ghost rapping about a fly girl back then, and big door knockers with her name in the middle, sweatpants, ass like jelly, it's all jiggle. Like I love this flow on that, and him describing the fly girls back then with the door knocker earrings and the 5411 Reeboks and all that, and This is straight old school. Like people that appreciate old school rap and they love these songs on here. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was dope. I do agree that he should have had both tracks combined. You didn't need one called breakbeat and then one called beatbox.
Right.
I mean, where's the breakdancing joint then? You know, I'm waiting for that one.
Hell, it was a graffiti joint. Shit.
Right, where's that one?
All right. Next song we got is called "Rap Kingpin." I've expressed my thoughts on this song a couple of times, but I'm just gonna reiterate. I feel like as a single, especially to a sequel album like Supreme Clientele, I feel like it wasn't really a strong first single, in my opinion. I feel like this song definitely felt like fucking Mighty Healthy 2025 and everything like that too. Which part of me is okay with it because it captures the same feel as that song. Because Mighty Healthy was one of the strongest tracks from Supreme Clientele. However, I just felt like it didn't really scream Supreme Clientele 2. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, again, Ghost did his thing lyrically, but I just feel like it could have been another dope first single, you know?
Now, on the bootleg Kev show, he said that some of these songs are old. Like some of the beats are like from 17, 18 years old that he had laying on his hard drive. Like Metaphysics is an old joint from 17 years ago. I think the Iron Man joint is another old joint. And it seemed like he took like a lot of old joints from his hard drive and put it on the album, and then he made a couple of new joints. This is like one of the new joints that he made with Scram Jones. I didn't like it in the beginning. I didn't feel like it was a strong first single for this album, but it's grown on me. I just felt like it was kind of lazy production, just combining Mighty Healthy with the Eric B and Rakim joint. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a
Yeah,
bad song. It could have been a second or third single instead of a first one to me. You know what I'm saying? But I like it
right.
now. Um, I don't know because I feel like it seemed like at one point like he wanted to do this album and then he didn't want to do it, and maybe that's why like not all
Yeah.
the songs on here are like brand new. They're like unreleased beats that he never used, and then he just decided to put it on the album, and then just like craft the album around a couple of new joints. You know what I'm saying? But it within the sound of the album, it fits. I like the sound of it. It has an old school sound to it.
It does have an old school. And I don't mind that. I actually don't mind the sound. It's just that we've heard this shit from Ghost. Not even just from Ghost, but from Wu Tang in general
Mhm.
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always that one or two joints with like the old school kind of sound.
Yeah,
But I do say the sequencing I do like how it's sequenced, like right after like the whole
yeah,
beatbox and the break beats and
right,
stuff
right,
like that. I do give credit for that.
yeah,
Say
yeah,
this okay. So that's one thing about Ghostface. His sequencing on his albums are always like top tier and shit.
yeah.
So
And he
I'll
talked
give
about
him
that too because he had to go through the sequencing track listing like several times because there was one point where he thought he had it, then he didn't have it, and then Sean Wiggs actually helps him out. You know, Sean Wiggs was down with Tito Unit, and he actually helps him out. That's like his manager now, or whatever. And he was like, "No, it's not right. Do it again." So he went through different track listings for this album before it actually came out the way it did.
and that's a good thing because people might think, oh, sequencing is not important in making an album. Yes, the
Mhm.
fuck it is.
Yeah, it
With you.
is
That's
definitely
why a lot of your favorite rappers these days they don't do a sequencing. A lot of the albums sound like fucking mixtapes or compilations and shit.
right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So you know what I'm saying? Hell, I would even go as far. I would even say people like Tyler the Creator. His sequencing to his albums are fire and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? However, one thing I would say, I feel like there's a bit too many unnecessary skits,
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that.
I feel like
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I gotta text my cousin. Sorry about that. Yeah, but yeah, the sequencing is always a good thing. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying about that. Next track, Sale of the Century. Uh, I didn't care for this skit. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
It's had Dave Chappelle. I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan
Mhm.
and everything like that too. But I just feel like not even Dave can save this skit and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I didn't like this skit out. I felt like if you have Dave Chappelle on a skit, it could have been done better. And he talked about making this skit, and like initially when the day that he went to meet up with Dave Chappelle to do the skit, he didn't do it. Like instead they end up getting drunk and they were like clowning around for hours, but he had to come back and do the skit, and maybe he wasn't focused when he came back, and I didn't care for it. I'm just why like this could have been a better skit or another type of skit with Dave Chappelle on it. Maybe you could have Dave Chappelle on the intro instead of Redman. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that would have been better. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't care for this skit. I just felt like what was the purpose of having it on? You know?
Yeah, switching Dave Chappelle with Redman would have been
Yeah,
probably
that would have been better for
a
him on the
more
intro.
logical choice.
Yeah,
But yeah. And this song leads into possibly my favorite track on this album called The Trial,
really.
featuring Raekwon, Jizza, Method Man, Reek the Villain, and Pill. You said really?
Wow. This is your favorite track
Yeah.
on here on the whole album.
Yeah, this is my favorite track
Okay.
on the whole album. And it gave me that
I'm
vintage
interested
Moose
in now.
feeling
Now I
and everything.
definitely want to hear what ranking you giving this album because I feel like it's not gonna be a good ranking.
Why, you don't like the song?
I don't feel like nobody stood out on this track. Like to have Ray, Meth, who else is on there? I don't feel like you would think
Jizza.
maybe it was the beat. I didn't think it was great. I'm like I never said that about a Wu Tang like posse joint. I'm like I don't care for this joint. Like Ray sounded uninterested. You know, I didn't get no memorable balls from Meth or Jizza on here. You
Real?
know,
What?
yeah,
Jizza killed this shit.
I don't think the beat was great either. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but I
Wow.
mean, I don't know. For me, I don't feel like this is not a memorable Wu joint. Out of all the classic stuff that they've done, Winter Wars and Shadow Boxing and all the other shit that they've done, this you think this was great? This is the best song on the album for you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Shit. I just feel like I just had that Vu energy to it and everything like that too. I feel like Jizza killed this shit
I
and
didn't like.
everything.
Was not a fan of this.
It's
Was
funny
not a
because I
fan of
think
this.
RZA in that Drink Champs interview said Jizza could watch any MC.
Not on this beat.
True.
Yeah, just got washed on shadow boxing by Method Man. How he washing? Who he washing?
Well,
Who he
to be
washing?
fair, Meth had like two verses, and RZA just had one. To be fair, that they could have put Shadow Boxing on Takao on some real shit.
Meth to me outshine Jizza on that song with his two verses.
Shit. I ain't mad about that. I ain't mad. But yeah, what you think of this song?
Mm. It was alright. I don't think it was a great Wu collab.
Oh man.
I just like when you hear Raekwon's verse, he just sounded on it. This is the same Ray that had Omerta with Nas, and he had Ghost on like three songs, and he had like a joint produced by Swiss Beats on his own album, and he didn't sound he didn't I didn't get that energy from him on this track. You know,
Well, who knows how long this song was made and shit like
I
that. You
mean,
never.
I can name underrated. Assassination Day was better than this joint to me.
Oh,
Or
of course,
off of Iron Man, that was a way better posse joint than this one.
of course. I Next song, "Love Me Anymore" featuring Nas. Pretty solid joint with this one. This song it used the voice sample. "Love Don't Live Here Anymore," which that song has actually been covered by Madonna twice and stuff
Right.
like that too. I'm gonna be real with you. This is another song I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more with that sample and everything like that too. Because first of all, I would not even touch this song to be weird. Because this song, "Love Don't Live Here Anymore," ooh, one of my probably my favorite voice song. Period. Just a vacancy. Love don't live here anymore. I mean, everyone knows that record. And what they did was they looped the intro, like dum bum bum, bum 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 bum, and they did that ding 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 ding, and they just repeat that same shit over and over again and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which, I felt it's better than other beats on this album, but me personally, I would have not touched that song. That's me personally, but I do respect it. uh, Nas did his thing on this one. To be real with you know what I'm saying. Yeah, he did his thing on this one. Ghost did his thing too. You know, I feel like was definitely, both of them was definitely at the A game. Nas is just having a victory level. A lot of these guest appearances he's been doing lately and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, not a bad track though. Solid, pretty solid.
Again, this is Ghost in his R&B bag, and I felt like if they had used it, if they used the sample any other way, it would have sounded too R&B. So I like the way that they sampled it and not using the entire sample, like he did with George, Georgie Porgy. I love the
Yeah,
Nas verse. I don't know what the hell these people are saying that the Nas verse was weak. I thought Nas killed it as usual. No surprise. You know, he's saying they'll get what's coming to them. Ain't gotta do no aiming. Tell my story after I'm dead. Y'all self-incriminating. This to my nation. Black on black hatred still happens adjacent. Project 2025 mandated by Reagan. House niggas on the rise. They love a plantation. Can allow the selfish and foul in our conversation. I loved it. I think he bodied his verse as always. I don't know what the hell these people are saying. Maybe they going by another narrative, but Nas, they don't have no whack verse. He killed it. I love the sample. This is one of my favorites on the album.
shit. They probably they probably mad about the Nas because they can't strut to it.
Well, I mean, he talking about like people that he was there for, like other friends or family that he had to cut off because they got mad because he didn't give them money or he didn't try to get them in a better lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that goes on all the time. So I definitely loved his verse and Ghost did his thing on here.
Definitely. Uh, black to black hatred. He called out the diaspora. Of course, man. See, they don't listen to the lyrics, man. That's but what do you expect from people who listen to Ice Spice 24/7? Track number 16 is called Soul Thing, featuring Driz, Nems, Ice Supreme, Intelligent, Sun God Pills, and Reek the Villain. I like the beat, but I just feel like not a lot of these verses was memorable and shit like that
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying? The beat was definitely a banger though. I ain't gonna hold you. The beat was definitely a banger, but I just felt like it wasn't as memorable as people make it out to seem and shit. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how I felt about the posse joint with the trial. I didn't think the beat was all that. I don't like the lineup on here. He got his son, Sun God on here. Sun God is okay, but I don't need to hear Sun God on every Ghostface album because that's his dad. You know what I'm saying? Nems to me was the best one on here. I love the line you said, bitch, how the hell are you bougie? You drive a Nissan? I love Nems. Nems could do no wrong. Everybody else could have got off the track. It could have just been Ghostface and Nems to me. You know what I'm saying? The beat was okay, it was soulful, but I don't think it was another posse joint that I don't think was good. We had two posse joints in there that I didn't think was all that.
Right. Yeah, definitely. All right. It's like two sides of a coin right now. Shit. Track number 17, Metaphysics. Um, this is another single. This one was okay. You can definitely tell this is one of the older tracks on this album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one was pretty okay. It wasn't only one of my favorites, but it was decent.
It's okay. This is one of the joints he had on his hard drive for like 17 years. Why he never put it out, I don't know. It was alright. It's not. It wasn't nothing. outstanding or that stood out to me about it. It was okay.
Right. Track number 18, Candyland. I don't know what the fuck this shit was, to be real with you. I don't know what the fuck this shit was. This sounds like some shit I'll probably hear from Snoop Dogg or some shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, lyrically he did his thing. I know I sound like a broken record, but and I know he called it Candyland because it was a reference from a line he used on Mighty Healthy called "Snap Out of Candyland Kids." But I don't know. I just felt like it just wasn't Ghost. I mean, it was Ghost, but I just feel like it could have been done a little bit better.
I I felt like it was great storytelling where he like a very creative song where he's like shouting out different candies, in the form of like kush of weed and pills and other you know drugs. And when he says Tootsie Roll Coke blunts is rolled to perfection. Now and later, 8 balls sell without question. Known for my Skittle game, pills like a hospital. You can taste the rainbow, dust strains will follow you. So again, like within the theme of the title, Candyland, he's gonna name different candies, Tootsie Roll and now laters that we had back in the day, and Skittles and it all goes within the storytelling and referring to like different Kush and different pills as candy. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a creative song, and I liked the beat. I thought the beat was fire.
Definitely. All right, all right. Next song we got is called Lenny Green Skit. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much radio DJ shit. You know what I'm saying? Lenny Green is actually a real life radio show host. He has a show called The Quiet Storm and stuff like that too. So he's just out here doing this thing and shit. You know what I'm saying? So leading into the next song.
He's from here. He does a show on I believe WBLS, and yeah, he's a radio legend.
You said what?
I said he does a show over here on WBLS, The Quiet Storm.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You gotta have that Quiet Storm. Shout out to the Quiet Storm station, man. Quiet Storm. I sometimes listen to Quiet Storm sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And it leads into the next song called The Zoom. I'm gonna be real with you. I like this song, but I feel
Legend.
like this you said what? You said can y'all hear me? Okay, I think Try's Wi-Fi was fucking up. But what I was gonna say about the Zoom is that I feel like that Commodore sample is like one of the most overused samples and shit like that too. And I like the Zoom song. I like the Zoom song and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of people use that sample, and they always use that sample the same way. They always use that sample the same way and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he called the shit the Zoom, so it's not like he's doing anything creative and shit.
I loved it. Again, this is R&B, Ghosts in his bag. The Zoom song. He's not the first to use it. Jim Jones actually used it for him. Um,
Oh God.
I I loved it. I love that Zoom song from the Commodores classic record with Lionel Richie. And he talked about going to Africa. Like when he was on the Bootleg Kev show, he talked about going to Africa. It was like a spontaneous trip. He wasn't planning on going out there, but once he went out there, it was like a great experience for him. It's like no cell phones, no Wi-Fi, just him in the country, and he had a great time. And he said it in his rhyme, trips to Africa. Frame of mind, not some belly, no Wi-Fi, only landlines and tellies. I need a queen that can match my frequency. Telecommunications softly, frequently. Loved it. Loved the whole mood of the record. This is one of my favorites on the album.
Definitely, I definitely feel you about that. Um, next next track is called "You My Friend" featuring Method Man. Next to the trial, this might be my another one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites of this album and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, to me, this song reminds me of KRS One song "A Friend" from the I Got Next album and
Mhm.
stuff like that. The beat's gonna drop right, and that's actually my favorite KRS One solo song, believe it or not, too. And shit, you know what I'm saying? Showbiz did his thing on that beat, but that's besides the point. So yeah, it just Method Man and Ghost definitely did a thing on this one. Just talking about the meaning of loyalty, brotherhood, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel that this should have been a song that should have been higher up on the album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like this one.
This is dope. Method Man killed it on here. Beat was fire. He said, we men, right? Sometimes we fight. We friends, right? Acting all light skinned and you ain't even that skin type. Loved his flow on that. Bodied it. Great song.
Definitely. All right. And then the last song is called a Knuckle Skit and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's one of his homeboys and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I would have not ended off this album. I feel like if they would just ended off with "You, My Friend" and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a lot more hard and thought provoking. But the to each his own.
The skit with Buckles, that sounds like Busta Rhymes. Like the way that the person is talking, that sounds like Busta Rhymes and they just like did something with his voice or whatever. But I don't think it should
Yeah,
have ended off with the skit though. That if anything, end off with the Method Man joint.
exactly. Yeah, man. Overall, hmm, this album should have not been called Supreme Clientele 2, in my opinion. I feel like this album there was a lot of good ideas, but poor executions, in my opinion. I feel like some of the product with Ghost saying that a lot of these songs was like like 17 years, maybe 18 years.
Yeah.
It definitely kind of makes sense. It definitely kind of makes sense and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, um, I don't mind that shit too because sometimes some motherfuckers have productions years back and stuff like that. And that shit still sounds fresh and everything like that too. Um, as far as the lyricism goes, I feel like Ghost's pen game was definitely sharper on this one. Um, I mean, Ghost definitely always does his thing. One thing about Ghost, he's never going to disappoint. But at the same time, too, I just do feel that a lot of the guest appearances was not as hitting as one might make it to believe and shit. The only skit I liked is the pause skit. I felt like the pause skit was very dope, but all these other skits, I just feel like they weren't really memorable, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Phew. Now, granted, I do feel like certain songs on the second half, like the last couple songs, they were definitely some more better songs. But at the same time, it was just like a lot of these songs. I just felt like, see, with Supreme Clientele, what a lot of people don't really give the album credit for was like he traveled to Africa before that album was released, and the thing about that, the songs on the album was just like he was just writing different rhythms and shit like that too. And it might be poor planning, but the execution to that came out right. You know what I'm saying? This one, it's like they might have some good ideas, but the execution did not come out as right. Because can you picture anybody else doing a song like Nutmeg or shit like Ghost or even like Apollo Kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And Ghost at the time, you was still hungry. You was still young,
Yeah,
hungry, and
yeah.
stuff like that.
He has something to prove because he didn't like Iron Man. He felt like it was rushed and
Crazy,
he didn't give his all on Iron Man.
which is crazy.
Right.
And then you have Kaveh saying the same shit too and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I fucking love Iron Man.
Yeah,
That
Iron
album
Man. Was great.
is one of a kind. But that's besides the point. So I'm gonna give this album maybe a 3 out of 5.
I think this is the problem that I have with people don't not understanding. Like there's too much expectations when it comes to these sequel albums, and people feeling like, oh well, it got to sound like the first one from 25 years ago. It don't have to sound like the first one. As long as it, to me, as long as it reminds you of the first one. Like when Redman came out with Muddy Waters 2, it reminded me of Muddy Waters. He had like 30 something tracks on there, but the skits were funny. The production was dope. It was in the same lane as Muddy Waters. It wasn't nothing too left field that he did on that album. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? When you have Cuban Link 2, which might be the best sequel rap album to me, like it had more buzz because of the era that it came out in that time and because of the social media. Whereas when Cuban Link came out, the buzz wasn't as big because we didn't know what he was gonna give us. It was like he was next up after Meth and ODB. We just knew he was coming out, but we didn't know what to expect. So when we hear him in Places of Ice for the first time and Criminology and Ice Cream is like they were dope, but he didn't have no expectation. He had expectation to the level on Cuban Link 2. And that's why it took like a whole decade for it to come out. I remember going to Fat Beats and them having the promo posters for it and it said coming soon. And that was like back in '02. You know what I'm saying? And they had like Vatican, a lot of those Vatican mixtapes and stuff, the Lost Jewels and stuff was like unreleased joints that he did during those sessions for Cuban Link 2, but it lived up to the hype. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Then you have albums like Do or Die 2. It was a dope album. I don't think it lived up to the hype as the first one from AZ. You know what I'm saying? I just think people were happy just to hear new music from AZ. Now was it. It quickly left. A lot of people don't even remember that album. You know what I'm saying? But when you have this like and Ghost tried to release this in February and he said it wasn't ready. That's why it didn't come out in February. It came out now because the album was done. He felt right about it, and I feel like he was holding off from releasing it because again, it's like you have expectations on what a lot of people consider your best album of all time. For me, I think he has more than one great album. I love Iron Man more than Supreme Clientele. Supreme Clientele was great, but I came from the Iron Man era. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to think that he didn't even like that album. But he was more driven and focused on Supreme Clientele because he felt rushed by Epic Records with Iron Man. And he felt like he didn't give his all on Iron Man. That's why he went all out on Supreme Clientele, and that's why people love it so much. But to me, he has multiple classics. I love Bulletproof Wallets. I thought that was a great album. Pretty Tony album was great. You know what I'm saying? With this album, 25 years after people deem your second album your best, it's a lot of pressure. And he probably thought about that. And I felt like again, like it don't have to be as great as the first one, but at least be in the same vein as the first one. Like this tracks on here, like Metaphysics and Iron Man and Windows, even the Nas joint that I felt like would have fit on Supreme Clientele. You know what I'm saying? And he had no RZA production because from what he's saying is like he don't need RZA at this point. Remember, RZA ain't worked with him since '04. That's already 21 years. You know what I'm saying? And he's given us great albums after Pretty Tony. Like Ghost Dini was one of his best albums. Ain't no RZA on it. Fish Scale, ain't no RZA on it. You know what I'm saying? So he already proved that he can do a great album without RZA, whereas Master Killer not so much. You know what I'm saying? You God, same with him. Like, well, I like You God's latter albums. I didn't like his first album. I thought it was trash. But His latter albums like Venom and Keynote Speaker, some of his best shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you know, I feel like the album was dope. You know what I'm saying? Except for I don't like the two Wu Tang posse joints on here. You know, the skits, other than the pause skit, that's the only skit I like. The other skits you could have left that off. But other than that, to me, it's a solid album. I love the Nas. I don't know why people saying the Nas verse is weak. It's not. Love Me Anymore, one of my favorites. The Zoom joint, Candyland, the Curtis May joint with Styles P and Conway was fire. The MOP joint, I don't think MOP should have been on that joint. They
Right.
don't fit on that track. You know, because I'm expecting, I mean, this MOP expecting that high energy, expecting Fame and Danzini to scream their head off, and they wasn't. They were more reserved on that track, which was maybe they're going in a different direction with their music. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That would be weird to hear like a whole MOP album and they're more subdued and melodic. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't care for them on that song, but the song itself was dope. The Method Man joint, You My Friend, love that joint. Method killed it. I'm giving this 4 mics. I love the old school sound of Ghost is an R&B dude. He said that old school R&B. You got the old school rap sound. I think it's a dope album. To me, it was one of the best albums of the year. So I'm definitely giving it 4 mics. It's not a bad album. There's some people that don't like it. There's some people that like it. It just came out, so we'll see at the end of the year how people feel about the album. But for me, right now, it's 4 mics.
Yeah, man. It's like, is it the worst thing since sliced bread?
No, nope.
Absolutely not. Especially because I heard some of Big X the Plug's new album. I didn't even fuck with it because he's now going to this country direction with his music. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Give me that soul samples. Like, what is Darius Rucker doing on the Big X album? Come on, man. I still got to listen to Mariah the Scientist album. Um, Chance the Rapper came out with a new album. I'm not really a
I
big Chance
didn't,
the
I
Rapper
didn't
fan.
hear it. I heard it was good. I heard it was better than his last one.
Nah, Juicy J's jazz album. You got to hear that shit.
But I heard the first one and it didn't sound like no jazz on it. So
This
what's different
one
about this one?
This one is more jazzier because I agree that first one was not jazz at all. This
That
one,
wasn't jazz.
this album right here, this album right here, it's like some fucking Charlie Parker shit compared to the first
Hey,
album. Some fucking Charlie Parker, and he's actually singing too. I'm just like, okay, like shit. I might talk about that album though, because that first album, it was not jazz at all. It was pretty much the same shit he was doing, but with live instrumentation. Shit,
yeah,
but I'm gonna be real with you. You're gonna like that Juicy J Jazz album more than Andre 3000's Flu album. I'm gonna be real with
I didn't listen to the Flute album. Once I heard he was doing that, I was like, I'm good. I was scared. That's a hard
I
pass
think
for
I
me.
might be the only fucking person that actually likes that Flu album. I think I might be the only fucking person. Man.
I didn't care for it. Nope. So was not trying to listen to that.
Did he do like a recorded album next or some shit? Hold on.
He did like a piano album,
Piano
some
piano
shit.
sketches. Like
We're not listening to that.
what's next? The fucking triangle, nigga?
That's
Like
that's an hour of my life I can't get back. Thank you, Andre.
I don't give a fuck. That Juicy J album, I have a feeling you'll like that shit. I have a strong feeling.
Yeah. If I listen to that first track and it doesn't sound anything but jazz, I'm turning it off. So if you say jazz album, it better sound like a jazz album.
I'm telling you, it's jazz. Like
Yeah, that's what you
it's
said
more
about the
jazz
first
than
one.
the first.
That's
Like
what you said about the first one.
it's like some Jamiroquai kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't Jamiroquai.
I say it's kind of like some acid jazz kind of shit.
Well,
Something
why
like
not? Why not? If you want Jamiroquai on the album, why not just do a collab album with Jamiroquai?
because he's still in virtual insanity. That's why he's still in virtual insanity and shit, man. Nah, but for though, what you know about Jamiroquai though?
Yeah, I love him. Space
Wow.
Cowboy. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Shit. Because sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes I be questioning your musical taste sometimes.
yeah, really. You don't want listening to a Juicy J fake jazz album? Are you questioning my taste?
First of all, it's not
Come
a
on,
fake jazz album. It's actually some jazz.
fake jazz, whatever the fuck you call it,
Okay,
trap
listen to
jazz
that
or whatever the
fucking
fuck he's
shit.
calling it.
drink some green tea and listen to that fucking album and
Drink
shit.
some green tea.
Drink some green tea and listen to that fucking album.
Right.
Like sometimes you guys just drink some champagne and some wine or some shit. Just listen to
Mm.
jazz. Just blow your mind or
So,
some
so I
shit.
got to get intoxicated to listen to Miles Davis then. Right. That makes sense.
So you gotta feel classy. You gotta drink some shit that's class to it.
You can listen to Frank Sinatra and not drink and feel classy.
Well, yes and no. Cause once New York comes on and shit, man, I'm gonna take you some shots and shit.
That's my joint.
Oh, you like? I thought you didn't like Frank Sinatra.
I like the song. I ain't say I'm a fan of his whole discography. I like the song.
And Frank is that nigga though. Come on, man.
There was an actual nigga in his crew that was dope.
I mean, Sammy Davis was cool, but he ain't no Frank Sinatra. I like.
Because he's Sammy Davis.
See,
Mm.
Sean agrees with me. He said
Yeah,
that there's
yeah,
jazz.
but Juicy J trying to do jazz just doesn't even sound right.
I mean, but if you think about it, some of them early 3 6 Mafia albums, kind of had some jazz elements. If you think about it,
3 6 Mafia?
Mystic Styles has some jazz samples. Like, come on, man.
Really? It didn't
Yes,
sound like jazz to me. It sounded more hardcore than jazz.
that's the point, though. That's the fucking point. The way how they did that shit was like some different kind of shit you wouldn't expect from like a Tribe or De La Soul or some shit, or even Gangstar. Shit. Sam said, "Damn, Sam, where the fuck you came from?" Kenny G is whack.
Mm.
Man, fuck Kenny G. Kenny G, man,
I'm more Robert Glasper and Terrace Martin.
I'm more Miles Davis, John Coltrane. That's the jazz I fuck with. Roy
Yeah,
Ayers,
they're good. Roy is dope.
Thelonious Monk. I don't. I don't care for the other member of Color Me Bad. I'm sorry. Like, mm. But yeah, I'm gonna actually end this off right here because I gotta get some sleep for work. I gotta be able to leave by 10 a.m. because I have to avoid traffic. But I sent you a text and shit like that too, just to let you
Um,
know.
uh,
Um, I'm trying to mature a little bit, just letting you know when I sent that to you. But
I'm glad.
thank you so much for thank y'all so much for watching this shit. I got some more shit. I'm actually going to do the first episode of this new series, mini series called Game Changing Albums. It's gonna be a 5 part series. I'm gonna pick like 50 of the life changing albums in my discography. Not discography, my collection, excuse me. And I'm just gonna say how it had an impact on my life. Just a little disclaimer. This is not a top greatest albums of all time list. I just want to let y'all know that shit right now. It's not a top because I felt like it's impossible for me to do a top greatest albums of all time because some albums I like more than others when it comes to like certain genres. So that's why I just stuck to the top hip hop albums, top R&B albums, top rock albums. We do got a top pop albums coming very soon though, just to let y'all know and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna reveal a lot about that very soon. But
We didn't do that.
huh?
We didn't do that.
No,
Top 100 rock album. We didn't do that.
we did a rock album. We didn't do a top pop albums yet.
So which one is this?
No, this is just something I was doing. It's like a 50 albums that had an influence in my life, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's just gonna be chill. I'm just gonna pick. It's gonna be like a 5 episode series or some shit. I'm gonna be like 10 albums each episode and stuff like that too. Keep in mind, some albums, you'll be surprised I'm gonna talk about and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm always one of full of surprises. Just letting y'all know. I'm actually gonna try to shoot the first episode before I go out of town this weekend. That way I can have some shit for y'all and stuff like that too. Also to expect some more dope some content coming up very soon. I plan on talking about Erica Badu's new album this Sunday and shit. So be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely be on the lookout for that because that's the queen of neo soul. That's mother right there and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So anything you want to say before we head out?
Uh, Going live on Wednesday with Rocker and Unk and Ray Lansky. Um, there's some stuff I got coming up. You know what I'm saying? Just stay tuned.
By the way, I've been loving y'all Wednesday shows and shit like
Yeah.
this.
I try to you know what, like I'm gonna just let them go live and then I'm gonna go off and do my thing and then come back every now and then because they love to talk. They want to be on there for 4 or 5 hours and you know
Yeah, cause
I don't want to be on there for that long, so I just let them talk and just let them
yeah,
freestyle and discuss whatever they want to talk about.
yeah, cause like I said, I don't mind supporting, but at the same time, when I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I'll be like, look, y'all,
Yeah,
how long y'all talk? I gotta go. Like shit, fuck that. You
yeah.
know, ain't no
I
disrespect.
can't do 5 hours.
Ain't no disrespect,
Can't
but
do 5 hours.
I don't like the music my stomach is making and shit like that. And
So
then
as long as I get on and I say what I need to say about whatever it is that we talk about, and then I just leave and then I let them talk. You know what
definitely,
I'm saying? But yeah, like I'm a go live for the Giants season. I was thinking if I was gonna do it or not, but I'm gonna definitely do it 'cause I did it for the Knicks pro season. So every Sunday, and I know me boy might be watching every Sunday after the Giants game or Monday, whenever they have a game, I'm gonna go live on Instagram and talk about the game and what I thought about what they did right or what they did wrong, and hopefully we have a good season. Hopefully, they don't disappoint me and I'm not talking about a 0-16 team this year. So
definitely, yeah, man. Football season is coming back full strong and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, yeah. Like I said, all the shit I don't reveal right now, it will be revealed when time will reveal itself. Honestly, and yeah. So in case y'all tuning in or living on the rock, we just talked about Ghostface Killah's Supreme Clientele 2 album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all support the album and shit. Also, shout out to Uncle Freezy and shit. Y'all make sure y'all watch his channel and stuff like that too.
we
One
were
day,
on last night. We were on last night.
I know, yeah, man. I was knocked out
Yeah.
last night, man. I was like so tired. I was
I
like,
think I think we might go live tomorrow, probably tomorrow night. I'm doing a live also. Shout out to Nostalgic and the Hip Hop Jedi's. They've been doing for the whole summer the top 50 rappers of California. You know, Complex put up their Fugazi list, and they got it all wrong. So what we've been doing is been doing our list of the top 50 from California, and tomorrow night is the last part of the top four, and it's gonna be interesting to see what they got in their last four.
okay. Well, I can't wait to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to all the motherfuckers out there doing their thing. And without further ado, I'm gonna see y'all motherfuckers later. Peace.